I am Australian, but I always had a connection to Europe, coming over to Ireland quite a lot. Studied in Melbourne at RMIT, which is a photography college there, and then immediately after studying, I left for London straight away. So I picked up a camera in school, found it pretty fascinating. My dad taught me how to use a manual SLR, and I just straight away had this kind of addictive feeling about needing to use it and take pictures. Can we ask them? Is that all right? There was some time where I was trying other kinds of photography, and during university, and then after university I came out and my lecturers said to me, all the other kinds of photos aren't really worth much, but the pictures of buildings are really good, you should stick with that, and that turned out to be really good advice. My father's an architect, so that kind of, I guess, kick-started that interest, or maybe that interest was more subliminal without me realizing. From there, I went to London and assisted fashion photographers for 5, maybe a bit more years. And I think that had a huge influence on me in terms of, I guess a lot of architectural photographers are architects who turn into photographers, and that has its strength. But coming from the position of the average person who experiences architecture, I think I'm able to sort of convey that experience without the technicalities involved, or see past the technicalities in a way. I feel like there's two things in my approach to conveying the human experience. It's experiencing it myself in that moment and allowing myself the time and the space to breathe when we're there. But the second thing is this process that's evolved kind of naturally about post-rationalizing my images and looking at what my response was on that day, and then letting my interpretation of that response inform the next time I do it. So it becomes this sort of iterative cycle of a response, a reaction, and then subsuming that back into the practice. For photography to go forward, it has to go backward and embrace reality and the rawness that it can bring that AI and 3D can't really offer. So I think building on that, it's about the conveying human life, conveying those little moments and observations that really speak the human language within a building that programs just don't seem to be able to do. To convey these elements of life and sort of fragments of things happening, you have to be there physically, which again, that those programs, they're just not, they're not there. This sort of temporal thematic where obviously it was a product of the war in a way, and the economic situation, and obviously the sort of, I guess, design thinking at the time. And then to see that sort of half articulated a long time ago, and then sitting in juxtaposition with current life. So in a way, it's kind of sad to feel like it's a semi-failed experiment where it just didn't get a couple of those key resources in place, like supermarkets and things, and it's not as thriving as it could be. I think using your legs as a vehicle is the only human way I know of to really slow down enough to notice things, and to appreciate the physical changes as they happen, like block by block or whatever it is. Whenever I move faster, I don't have the time to take in enough. I don't find myself seeing moments and images the way I do when I walk. So yeah, sometimes I walk a lot.